Hello friends, this question is asked in GATE 1997. The capacitance of the arrangement shown in figure is in picofarad. The figure is shown below. So in this figure it is given that there are two square conducting plates. So these are the square conducting plates and its side is 20 centimeter and the distance between the plate is 20 centimeter and it is divided into three different dielectric regions. So up to 10 centimeter it is epsilon 1 which is having dielectric constant as 1 and for the next 10 centimeter it is divided by the dielectric constant having epsilon r equal to 2. And this region, the half portion of this plates is defined as permittivity 4. Now, because there are two conducting plates and it will have some charge, and if they are separated by some distance and whether there is maybe a free space or air or some dielectric constant, it will form a capacitive medium. So here we have two square plates and they are separated by some distance, so that's why it will form a capacitive medium. So here we will have two square conducting plates. Suppose this is a square conducting plate and suppose we will have plate like this. This is square, this is square and this is square and we have this side and this side. These sides will be same because this is square. Now, so the area of this plate will be 20 into 20. So this will be 400 centimeter square. Okay. So this is the square conducting plate and having side 20 and 20. So we will get the area of this plate as 400 centimeter square. Now, if we talk about this particular region, because they are separated by some plate, square conducting plate, and here the dielectric constant is different and here the dielectric constant is different. So it is like capacitance connected in series because they are different regions. So for this particular region, this capacitance can be calculated by the formula of parallel plate capacitor, which is C equal to epsilon naught A upon D. So there A is the area of the plate and D is the distance between the plate. So the distance we can calculate for this region, the distance is 10 centimeter because this is characterized for up to the 10 centimeter, and the area which will come into effect is important here because the half portion, because the 10 centimeter, this line is also divided into two equal half, 10 into 10. So if we put plate like this, so we know that if we put plate like this, then we know that this is 20 and this is 20. So in this particular plate, if we divide into half portion, so up to 10 centimeter, so the area will be, so the area of this plate we are dividing into two equal halves. So for this particular region we are having dielectric constant epsilon 1 and this distance remains same. This distance remains same. This will not change, but we are dividing this into two parts. So up to this point means up to 10 centimeter it is characterized by dielectric constant epsilon 1. So the area of this plate will become, for this particular capacitance, is 10, this is 10, this is 10 and this complete length 20. So 20 into 10, that is 200, which is half of the complete plate area, because the complete plate area was 20 into 20, that is 400, but we are talking about only epsilon 1. So for epsilon 1, the area which is come into effect is only the 10 centimeter and this complete length which is 20. So 20 into 10, that is 200, means the area is half of the complete square conducting plate. So now we can draw its equivalent circuit like this. we have capacitor connected in series, C1 and C2. These two are connected in series, and the potential applied across the plate is same. So these two capacitance is in parallel with this capacitance, which is also having the area half. So for parallel plate capacitor, C1 capacitance is given as epsilon A upon D. Now we have three capacitance. For C1, dielectric constant is epsilon R1 epsilon naught A upon D, and this is equal to epsilon naught, this is 1, epsilon R1 is 1 here, and epsilon naught A upon D, and A will be the half of the total area. So this is epsilon naught A by 2, and distance is D1, let us say. Epsilon R1 epsilon naught A upon D, we can write it as, and the area is here also we can write like this. This would be better, and this is D1. So C1 is equal to epsilon naught R1, the dielectric constant of region 1, permittivity epsilon naught, area come into effect is half of the total area, and D1 is 10 centimeter. So we can, if we put the value of epsilon R1, we will get this. Similarly, we can calculate C2. This is epsilon R2 epsilon naught, area is again half, distance is D2, epsilon R2 is 2 given, 2A by 2 divided by D2. C3 is epsilon R3 epsilon naught, again area is half, and D3. So if we put the values of C1, C2, C3 means if we calculate the total capacitance, so C1 and C2 are connected in series, so equivalent capacitance can be written as C1 and C2 are in series, that means C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2. If the capacitance are connected in series, then it is C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2, and if they are connected in parallel, then they simply add. So this will be plus C3. If we put the value of C1, C2 and C3 here, so C1 we have epsilon naught A by 2 by D1 into C2 is 2 epsilon naught A by 2 divided by D2 whole divided by epsilon naught A by 2 D1 plus 2 into epsilon naught A by 2 divided by D2 plus epsilon R3. Value of epsilon R3 is 4. So 4 into epsilon naught A by 2 divided by D3. So if we solve this epsilon naught A by 2 we can take common. So this is C equivalent. If I take epsilon naught A by 2 common, so it will cancel with this epsilon naught A by 2 and we will left with 1 epsilon naught A by 2. So this is 2 into epsilon naught A upon 2 divided by D1 D2 in the numerator whole divided by epsilon naught A by 2 we have taken as common, 1 upon D1 plus 1 upon D2 and this will be 2 upon d2 plus 4 epsilon naught a by 2 divided by d3. Putting all the values, so this is 2 into epsilon naught, a is a by 2, so a is 400 centimeter square, so this is 400 divided by 2 whole divided by d1 d2, d1 and d2 are 10, so this is 10 into 10, all are in centimeter, and 1 upon d1, so 1 upon 10 plus 2 by 10 plus 4 into epsilon naught a by 2, this is 400 by 2 divided by d3. d3 is the distance between two plates for dielectric constant characterized by epsilon r3. So the distance for epsilon r3 is complete distance 20. So this is 20. So after solving this equation, we will get 4.7 picofarad. Hence the correct answer is 4.7. This question is asked in GATE 2003. A point charge of plus 1 nanocoulomb is placed in a space with permittivity of 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12 farad per meter as shown in figure. The potential difference VPQ between 2 points P and Q at distance of 40 millimeter and 20 millimeter respectively from the point charge is option A 0.22 kilovolt, option B minus 225 volt, option C minus 2.24 kilovolt, and option D 15 volt. So 1 nanocoulomb charge is placed here and we have to calculate potential difference. Potential difference VPQ, and there are 2 points P and Q. The potential difference VPQ, and this point Q is from 20 millimeter from the point charge and this point P is 40 millimeter from the point charge. Now the potential difference is given by VPQ equal to VQ minus VP, and it is given by minus of P to Q E dot dl. The potential difference is given by this relation where PQ, we are moving the point charge from P to Q, then it will create potential difference between P and Q, and that is nothing but potential at point Q minus potential at point P. And from the electric field also we can calculate, this is minus integration from P to Q, means this is nothing but the position vector at point P, and this is nothing but the position vector at point Q, means the coordinates of P and Q, and electric field and differential length. Now if this VPQ is positive, means work is done by external agent and it gains potential energy. If VPQ, if we solve this equation and if VPQ comes positive, it means that work is done. Work to move the charge from P to Q. Work to move the point charge from P to Q is done by some external agent, and the charge gains the potential energy of that external agent. If VPQ is negative, then work is being done by the field in which the charge is placed and it is moving from P to Q, and it loses potential energy. And potential difference is independent of the path. This is very important point. The potential difference is independent of path taken. Potential difference is independent of path taken. It does not depend which path you take, means it does not depend whether you move from Q to P or P to Q. So if we calculate VPQ, that is VQ minus VP, so VQ is the potential because of point charge of 1 nanocoulomb at point Q, which is at distance 20 millimeter, which is at distance 20 millimeter. It means that if we write potential at any point due to charge placed at distance r. Potential at any point due to charge placed at a distance r is given as k q by r. The charge here is q and r is the distance, and k equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught for air, and if it is not air, then epsilon naught into epsilon r, q by r. So because this is placed in air, so this is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Now applying this formula, because this is potential at any point, and we have to find potential at point Q and potential at point P. So this is nothing but 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. The charge is 1 nanocoulomb, so 1 into 10 raised to power minus 9 divided by distance. Distance for Q is 20 millimeter. So this is 20 into 10 raised to power minus 3. This is VQ minus VP, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Charge is same, 1 into 10 raised to power minus 9, and this is 40 into 10 raised to power minus 8. The distance for point P is 40 mm. So if we solve this, this is nothing but 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught common, and 10 raised to power minus 9 we can take common, and in fact okay, so this will be 1000 divided by 20 minus 1000 divided by 40. So if we solve this, we will get, this is 9 into 10 raised to power 9, this is 10 raised to power minus 9, and this is 1000 divided by 40. So we will get 225 volt, because this will cancel and this will be also cancelled. So this will be 900 divided by 4, and 900 divided by 4 is 225 volt. So as we can see that the answer is 225 volt, but in the option it is given that minus 225 volt, because we have considered that we are moving from P to Q. We are moving from P to Q, so that's why the answer is coming positive. So when the examiner said the option, he may consider it as he is moving from Q to P, and in that case the answer will be minus 225. So as we can see that the potential difference is independent of path taken, so it will only affect the sign of it, the magnitude will remain same in both the case. So if your answer is coming positive, then you check the option, and if there is option with same magnitude and with negative sign, so there will be no problem of it. And never it is possible that both the option with plus and minus sign, it will not be there. It is never possible, because at a time this will be remain same, magnitude will remain same, because either we can move from P to Q or Q to P. And if both the option will be given, then there should be given the path taken, means from we are moving from P to Q or Q to P, then only the both option can be given. Because as we have seen that we are considering P to Q, then answer is positive. If we consider Q to P, then answer will be minus 225. So, and the correct answer is option B. This question is asked in GATE 2004. A parallel plate capacitor is shown in figure. It is made of two square metal plates of 400 millimeter side. The 14 millimeter space between the plates is filled with two layers of dielectrics of epsilon r equal to 4, d equal to 6 mm thick, and epsilon r equal to 2 and d equal to 8 millimeter thick. Neglecting fringing of field at the edges, the capacitance is option A 1298 picofarad, option B 944 picofarad, option C 354 picofarad, and option D 257 picofarad. So it is given that square conducting plane of side 400 millimeter. So there are two plates, square conducting plates, and these two plates are divided into two regions with having different dielectric constant. Up to 6 millimeter, it is having dielectric constant as 4, and for the next 8 millimeter, it is having dielectric constant is 2. So the distance between the plates is 14 mm, and this 14 mm is divided into two different regions by different dielectric constant, 6 and 8 millimeter. Now for parallel plate capacitor, capacitance is given by epsilon A upon D, where A is the area of the plate and D is the distance between the plate. Here we have two capacitive effect and they are connected in series, because the total distance between the plates is divided into two different dielectric constant. So it will be considered as two capacitance connected in series. And when the capacitance are connected in series, the equivalent capacitance is given as C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2 if two capacitance are connected in series. Overall capacitance can be calculated as 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon Cn and so on. If n capacitance are connected in series, then we will calculate by using this formula, and if the two capacitance are connected in series, then we can calculate equivalent capacitance by solving this equation. We will get only this term. So here C1 equal to C1 the capacitance because of the first region where the dielectric constant is 4 and distance between the plate is 6. So this is 4 epsilon naught, because epsilon equal to epsilon r epsilon naught, 4 epsilon naught area of the plate. This is 400 into 10 raised to power minus 3 whole square, because this is square conducting plate, so the area is side square and its side is 400 into 10 raised to power minus 3, so it's a square, divide by distance between the plate, which is 6 into 10 raised to power minus 3, 6 millimeter. Similarly, C2 will be dielectric constant is 2, so this is 2 epsilon naught and the area of the plate will remain same. That is because the plate, the area come into effect is the complete plate. So the area will be 400 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole square divided by distance between the plate, and the distance between the plate for the second region is 8 millimeters. So this is 8 into 10 to the power minus 3. So putting the value of C1 and C2 in this equation, we will get equivalent capacitance as C1 C2. So this is 4 epsilon naught 400 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole square divided by 6 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 2 epsilon naught 400 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole square divided by 8 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole divided by C1 plus C2. So this is 4 epsilon naught 400 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole square divided by 6 into 10 to the power minus 3 plus 2 epsilon naught 400 into 10 to the power minus 3 whole square divided by 8 into 10 to the power minus 3. So on solving this, we will get the result as 257 picofarad. Hence the correct answer is option D. This question is asked in GATE 2014 set 1. C0 is the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor with air as dielectric as shown in figure A. If half of the entire gap as shown in figure B is filled with a dielectric of permittivity epsilon r, the expression for the modified capacitance is option A C0 by 2 1 plus epsilon r, option B C0 plus epsilon r, option C C0 by 2 into epsilon r, and option D C0 1 plus epsilon r. So in this question it is given that this is two parallel plate conductors and it is filled with air. So here the medium is air, hence epsilon equal to epsilon naught. So if the two parallel conducting plates are separated by some distance, then they form capacitive system. So for this, capacitance is given by formula parallel plate capacitor, and this is C equal to epsilon naught A upon D. The distance between the plate, let us assume that the distance between the plate is D and it is having area of A. So for this particular system, the capacitor is C equal to epsilon naught A upon D. Now this same system is filled with dielectric having permittivity epsilon r. So the whole gap is filled, the half of the whole gap is filled with the dielectric constant having permittivity epsilon r, and this is, and the potential across the capacitor. Here also the potential across the capacitor is same, and here also if we apply the potential across this capacitance, then it will remain same. It means that when the potential is same, it means that that is connected in parallel or that is connected in shunt. In that case, the voltage remains same, the potential remains same. So for this particular system, the equivalent circuit will be like this. The potential applied across the plate is same, that is V, and this forms a capacitive system and this form another capacitive system C2, and the C1 will be, because for this region half portion the distance between the plate remains same. So in this half portion the area of the plate which come into effect is just half, because half portion is divided by some other dielectric constant. So for this particular region, this is first region, for this first region capacitance is C1 and the area come into effect is half of the previous area which was considered in figure A. So C1 will be epsilon naught, because the medium is air and the area is now half of the previous area which was considered in figure A, and the distance is same. So this is epsilon naught A by 2 into D divided by D. And similarly, second capacitance we can calculate, but here the medium is having permittivity epsilon R. So this is epsilon naught epsilon R, and area which come into effect is again half of the area considered in figure A divided by the distance is same. Now because these two capacitance are connected in series, these two capacitance are connected in shunt, the equivalent capacitance is C1 plus C2. If the capacitances are connected in shunt, then it will be the addition of individual capacitance. So here the two capacitance C1 and C2 are connected in shunt. So the overall capacitance or equivalent capacitance is sum of C1 and C2. C1 is epsilon naught A upon 2D plus this is epsilon naught epsilon R A upon 2D. If we take epsilon naught A by D common, we will get, and also we can take it common as epsilon naught A upon 2D we can take common. So this will be 1 plus epsilon R. And from figure A, for air, when this medium is filled with air, the capacitance is epsilon naught A upon D, which is given as C naught in this question. C naught is the capacitance for figure A, which is epsilon naught A upon D. So in this equation, epsilon naught A upon D can be written as C naught divided by 2 1 plus epsilon R. So equivalent capacitance or the capacitance for the figure B is C naught by 2 1 plus epsilon R. Hence the correct option is option A. This question is asked in GATE 2014 set 2. A parallel plate capacitor consisting two dielectric materials is shown in figure. The middle dielectric slab is placed symmetrically with respect to the plates, and the figure is shown below. If the potential difference between one of the plates and the nearest surface of the dielectric interface is 2 volt, then the ratio of epsilon 1 to epsilon 2 is option A 1:4, option B 2:3, option C 3:2, and option D 4:1. So this arrangement is given to us, and this is parallel plate capacitor which is having the gap D, and the dielectric slab is placed symmetrically between the parallel plates. So the width of this dielectric slab is D by 2 and the total width is D. So this will be D by 4 because it is placed symmetrically, and this will also be D by 4. And the dielectric constant of this D by 4 region is epsilon 1, and the dielectric constant for D by 2 region is epsilon 2. And it is given that the potential difference between one of the plate and nearest surface of dielectric interface is 2 volt. And the total potential applied across this parallel plate capacitor is 10 volt. So for parallel plate capacitor, capacitance is given by C equal to epsilon A upon D, where A is area of the plate and D is the distance between the plate, and epsilon is dielectric constant of the medium. So here we have 3 different regions. One is having width D by 4, another is having D by 2, and third is also having the width D by 4, and the dielectric constants are epsilon 1, epsilon 2, and epsilon 3. So the total gap is divided into 3 regions. Hence, we can consider it as the capacitance connected in series. So if we draw the equivalent diagram, so this is C1, capacitance C1, capacitance C2 and capacitance C3, and the total voltage applied across this plate is 10 volt. And it is given that the potential applied across the plate and one of the nearest surface of dielectric is 2 volt. So we can consider it as 2 volt. The total voltage applied across this capacitance is 2 volt and the total voltage applied across the plate is 10 volt. Now the capacitance C1 will be, from this formula for parallel plate capacitance, the capacitance is given by epsilon A by D. So for first capacitance, this will be epsilon 1 A upon D by 4, because the distance between the plate is D by 4 for the first capacitance. So we can write it as 4 epsilon 1 A upon D. Similarly, and the dielectric constant for the third region is also same and the distance between the plate is also same. Hence the capacitance C1 will be equal to capacitance C3, because the distance between the plate and the dielectric constant is same. Now capacitance C2, this is nothing but epsilon 2 A upon D by 2, because the distance between the plate here is D by 2. So this is nothing but epsilon naught epsilon, this is epsilon R1 and R2 A upon D by 2. So this is equal to 2 epsilon naught epsilon R2 A upon D. Now these capacitances are connected in series, hence the total capacitance is given by C equivalent, that is equal to 1 upon C equivalent, that is equal to 1 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2 plus 1 upon C3. Since C1 and C3 are same, this can be written as 2 upon C1 plus 1 upon C2. This is 1 upon C equivalent. So if we put the values of C1 and C2 in this equation, so 1 upon C equivalent will be equal to 1 upon 2 upon C1. C1 is 4 epsilon naught epsilon R1 A by D plus 1 upon C2. So this is 2 epsilon naught epsilon R2 A upon D. So if we solve this equation, so we will get 2D epsilon R2 plus 2 epsilon R1 into D divided by 4 epsilon naught epsilon R1 epsilon 2 into A. So here if we take 2 common or 2D common, then we will get epsilon R2 plus epsilon R1 divided by 4 into epsilon naught epsilon R1, and this is epsilon R2 into A. So C equivalent will be 4 epsilon naught epsilon R1 epsilon R2 into A divided by 2D epsilon R1 plus epsilon R2. So we have calculated the value of C1 and C equivalent. We know that Q equal to CV, the total charge stored in capacitor is given by C into V, the potential applied across it and capacitance. So if the charge stored in the plate is same, then we can write it as C is inversely proportional to potential applied across it. It means that we can also write it as C equivalent is inversely proportional to total voltage applied across it, and C1 is inversely proportional to voltage applied across C1. And it is given that the voltage applied across one of the surface and the plate is 2 volt, and the total voltage applied across the capacitance is 10 volt. So if we divide this, we will get C equivalent divided by C1, that is equal to 1 upon V and V1. So C equivalent divided by C1 will be equal to V1 upon V. And the value of C equivalent and C1 we have calculated, that is 4 epsilon naught epsilon R1 epsilon R2 into A divided by 2D epsilon R1 plus epsilon R2 into C1. C1 is 4 epsilon naught epsilon R1 into A divided by D. This is equal to V1, the voltage across the plate and one of the surface is 2 volt, and the total voltage applied across the plate is given as 10 volt. So if we solve this, we will get this D and D will get cancelled. This 4 epsilon naught epsilon R1 into A, this will cancel. So this will be epsilon R2 divided by epsilon R1 and epsilon R2, and this is equal to 1 by 5. In fact, 2 by 5. So 5 epsilon R2 equal to 2 epsilon R1 plus 2 epsilon R2, and this will be 3 epsilon R2 equal to 2 epsilon R1, and we have to calculate the ratio of epsilon R1 to epsilon R2, and this is equal to 3 by 2. This question is asked in GATE 2014 set 3. A perfectly conducting metal plate is placed in XY plane in a right hand coordinate system. A charge of 32 pi epsilon naught root 2 coulombs is placed at coordinate 0, 0, 2. Epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space. Assume I cap, j cap and k cap to be unit vectors along x, y and z axis respectively. At the coordinate root 2, root 2, 0, the electric field vector E in newtons per coulomb will be option A 2 root 2 k cap, option B minus 2 k cap, option C 2 k cap, and option D minus 2 root 2 k cap. So in this question it is given that there is a perfect conducting metal plate, and above this there is a point charge having 32 pi epsilon naught root 2 magnitude at 0, 0, 2, and we have to calculate magnetic field at root 2, 0, which is in xy plane. So whenever it is given that there is a point charge, line charge or surface charge placed above the perfect conducting metal plate, then there we have to apply method of image. So according to method of image, the perfect conducting metal plate is replaced by equipotential surface, and in this conducting region we have to place an image charge which should have magnitude same as given charge but polarity opposite to it. If there is a point charge and its magnitude is suppose plus q, then we have to place an image charge inside the conducting region with polarity minus q, and distance should be same as the distance here. So if we apply the method of image in this question, so applying method of image, according to method of image, perfect conducting metal plate should be replaced by equipotential surface. So this is equipotential surface. Potential is 0. This is Z, and at 002, if there is a charge of plus 32 pi epsilon naught root 2 magnitude, then we should place a charge at 00 minus 2, which is equal distance from the metal plate or from the equipotential surface with respect to origin, but the polarity should be opposite to it. That means minus 32 pi epsilon naught root 2, and this is x and y. This is y, this is x, and at this point root 2 0, we have to find electric field. So because of a point charge, electric field intensity is given by kq by r, AR cap. Because of a point charge, electric field intensity at any distance r is given by kq by r, AR cap, where k is the constant 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So this is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q by r, AR cap, and this can also be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught r. So kq by r square, sorry, electric field intensity because of point charge is kq by r square, AR cap, and this is k is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square, AR cap. So this is r square, and this unit vector can be written as vector r divided by its magnitude. So this is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught r to the power 3 by 2, and there is charge q, qr. So because of point charge at any distance r, electric field intensity is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught r to the power 3 by 2 into q into r, where this vector r is the displacement vector. Now what is displacement vector? So the displacement vector is the displacement from one point to another with respect to origin. So if we have to calculate electric field intensity at root 2 0, so we should join the line from the charge to point of interest. So if we join the line from the charge to point of interest, so we will move in this direction. So this will be our final point and this will be our initial point. So let us say this point is Q and this point is P. So the displacement vector RPQ is given as RQ minus RP, final point minus initial point. So using this displacement vector and this formula, we can calculate the electric field intensity because of this point charge and also because of this point charge, and to calculate because of this point charge we have to join the line from this charge to point of interest. So let us denote it by R1 and R2 vector. Now due to point charge plus 32 pi epsilon naught root 2 coulomb, electric field intensity at point of interest, that is root 2 0, is E1 plus 32 pi epsilon naught root 2, this is charge, divided by 4 pi epsilon naught vector r, displacement vector r, and that is root 2 minus 0 ax cap plus root 2 minus 0 ay cap plus 0 minus 2 Az cap divide by r to the power 3 by 2 means its magnitude to the power 3 by 2. So its magnitude would be root 2 whole square plus root 2 whole square and minus 2 whole square to the power 3 by 2. So if we solve this, we will get 8 root 2 here, and this is root 2 ax cap plus root 2 ay cap minus 2 az cap divide by, this is 2, 2 and 4, that is 8. So this is 8 to the power 3 by 2. Similarly, due to point charge minus 32 pi epsilon naught root 2, this E2 will be, the only difference will be the magnitude of charge. So that is minus 32 pi epsilon naught root 2 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught, and there will be difference also in displacement vector. So the final point is root 2 and the initial point is 0, 0, minus 2 this time. So this is root 2 ax plus root 2 ay plus 0 minus of minus 2. 0 minus of minus 2 is plus 2. So this is plus 2 az divided by 8 to the power 3 by 2, because this is 2 root 2 square, 2 plus 2 4 plus 4 8, 8 to the power 3 by 2. So to calculate the electric field because of these 2 point charge, E will be E1 plus E2. And if we add these two equations, we will get minus sign here and here it is positive. So this 2 will be negative, and in this question, in this E1, there is positive sign. So because if we solve this, we will get minus 8. So this is also minus 8 root 2. So this is minus 8 root 2 and the remaining thing is same. So that's why if we talk about adding these two E1 and E2, here AX component and AY component having positive sign, and here AX and AY component having negative sign because of this minus charge. So this will cancel each other because the denominator for both the equation E1 and E2 is same. So this will cancel each other, and the Z component here is minus sign and the Z component here is also with negative amplitude. So we can write it as 8 root 2 minus 2 az divided by 8 to the power 3 by 2. From E1 we will get, and from E2 also we will get 8 into root 2 and 2 az divided by 8 to the power 3 by 2, and this will be plus. E1 is 8 root 2 minus 2 az divided by 8 to the power 3 by 2 plus here this minus sign minus 8 root 2 2ay minus 8 root 2 2ay, and the denominator is same. So if we add this, we will get minus 16 root 2 2az upon 8 to the power 3 by 2. So on solving this equation, we will get minus 2 az cap, and the total electric field at point root 2 0 because of the charge placed above the perfect conducting plane is minus 2 az cap. Hence the correct option is option B. This question is asked in GATE 2015. A parallel plate capacitor is partially filled with glass of dielectric constant 4 as shown below. The dielectric strength of air and glass are 30 kilovolt per centimeter and 300 kilovolt per centimeter respectively, the maximum voltage in kilovolts which can be applied across the capacitor without any breakdown is. The arrangement is shown here. Here it is parallel plate capacitor. So the plates of the capacitor is this, which is having two different dielectric region. First one, half portion is filled with air having permittivity 1 and the distance is 5 mm because it is half, and it is filled with glass. The other half portion is filled with glass having permittivity or the dielectric constant as 4. So the half portion is filled with air and half portion is filled with glass. So this is 5 mm and this is also 5 mm because the distance between the plate is 10 mm. Now dielectric strength of air. So dielectric strength of air is given as 30 kilovolt per centimeter, and here the distance is given in mm. So we can convert this into mm, so the calculation will be easy. So this is 30 kilovolt centimeter, so this is 10 to the power minus 2, and this is equal to 10 kilovolt. Let's divide it by 10 and multiply by 10. So this will cancel, and 10 to the power minus 3, so this will become 3 kilovolt per mm. Similarly, we can also convert the dielectric strength of glass. This is kilovolt per centimeter, and this can be written as 300 divided by 10 kilovolt 10 to the power minus 2 divided by 10. So this will be 30 and this is 10 to the power minus 3. So this is 30 kilovolt per mm. So dielectric strength of air is 3 kilovolt per mm and dielectric strength of glass is 30 kilovolt per mm. We have to find the maximum voltage in kilovolt which can be applied across the capacitor without breakdown. So the breakdown word is used here. This is because of the dielectric strength of air and glass. The dielectric strength means it is the maximum electric field that dielectric can tolerate or withstand without breakdown. So this is nothing but a electric field, because as we can see from the unit also, it is given in the form of volt per centimeter. So it is the unit of electric field. So dielectric strength is nothing but a electric field or maximum electric field that dielectric can tolerate or withstand without breakdown. Now here the complete region is divided into two regions. So it can be considered as capacitance connected in series, because the voltage drop because of this region, the potential is applied here. The total potential is applied here, and since the same current will flow through this, because the current will flow from this and then this, and then this will go to the ground. So the same current will flow through the circuit, and this happens in the series circuit. So here the capacitance are connected in series because there are two different dielectrics, so there will be different capacitance. So we can draw the equivalent circuit as the total voltage here is V, and the voltage drop across the first capacitor will be V1, and the voltage drop across the second capacitor will be V2, and this is capacitor C1 and this is capacitor C2. So this arrangement can be drawn like this in the form of circuit. Now because this is parallel plate capacitor, so for parallel plate capacitor, capacitance is given by epsilon A upon D, where epsilon is dielectric constant, A is the area of the plate, and D is the distance between plate. So here for air capacitance will be epsilon naught epsilon r1 and area divided by distance d, and this is nothing but epsilon naught A upon d, because epsilon r1 is 1 for air. Now this capacitance C2 will be epsilon naught epsilon r2 A divided by d, because the distance is same for both the capacitance. The distance between the plate is same and the area of the plate is also same. That's why I am representing it by A and D only. So here epsilon naught epsilon r2 is 4 and A by d, and epsilon naught A by d is nothing but C1. So this is nothing but 4 C1. So C2 equal to 4 C1. Now because here in this question the potential applied or the battery is not connected to the plate of the capacitor, because in this arrangement it is not given, that these plates are connected by some battery. So if the plates are not connected by battery, then in that case it means that we applied some voltage across the plates of the capacitor and then we removed that battery, and when it happens then the charge stored in this plate will remain same. And the other case is if we connect this plate of the capacitor by battery for very long time, then the voltage across these plates remains same. But here the case is that we have applied battery, the charge is stored in that, and then we have removed that battery, so the charge stored in this plate will remain same. It means that charge stored in the capacitor is same, constant, and this charge is given as in terms of capacitance and voltage Q equal to CV. So CV equal to constant. Here the C is equivalent capacitance, means the series combination of C1 and C2, and the V is the total voltage applied across this capacitor. So we can also write it as C1 V1 equal to C2 V2, because CV equal to constant, because Q is constant, so Q equal to CV, and that will be also constant. So C1 V1 equal to C2 V2, and C1 equal to, we have calculated there, here C2 equal to 4 C1. So C2 equal to 4 C1. So from here this C1 and C1 will get cancelled. So V1 equal to 4 V2. So voltage applied across the air, or capacitance 1, which is because of the air as medium, is 4 times the voltage across the capacitance, which is because of glass as dielectric. So V1 equal to 4 C2. So V1 here is because of this first region in which the dielectric is as air, consider as air, and here the C2, which is because of this one plate and this surface of the dielectric, which is glass. So V2 and V1 are related as V1 equal to 4 V2. Now consider the dielectric strength. So dielectric strength of air, for air, dielectric strength, because this is electric field, so let's represent it by E, and E10 is given as 3 kilovolt per mm. Now the potential and electric fields are related as potential and electric field are related as E into D, because its unit is in volt per meter and the distance is in meter. So this meter will get cancelled, so we will get volts. So voltage equal to electric field into distance. So now from here we can calculate the potential across the first capacitor C1. So that is nothing but V1, and this V1 equal to E1 naught into D. E1 naught is 3, distance is 5 mm, it is given for air is filled up to 5 mm. So this is 15 kilovolt. So if we consider the dielectric strength, it means it is not in the breakdown, because this is the maximum electric field that the dielectric, that means air here, can tolerate without breakdown. So if the electric field for air is this, then the voltage applied across that air gap should be 15 kilovolt. If we increase this voltage, then it will go into breakdown. Now if V1 is this, and we know that the relation between V1 and V2, then we can calculate V2 equal to V1 by 4. So V1 is 15 and this is 4. So this is nothing but 3.75 kilovolt. So if the voltage across the capacitance C1 is 15, then the voltage across capacitance C2, means because of glass, the voltage should be, the potential applied across should be 3.75 kilovolt. Now if this is 3.75, then again from this relationship, if the voltage applied across the glass is 3.75, then what should be the electric field in that region? So electric field E2 naught in glass will be E2 naught equal to, from this relationship, electric field is voltage divided by distance. So this is V2 upon distance. So voltage applied across the second capacitor is 3.75 and the distance is 5. So this is 0.75 and this is in kilovolt and this is in millimeter. So this is kilovolt per mm. So if we apply the voltage 3.75, then the electric field across the second dielectric or the second capacitance is 0.75, which is less than dielectric strength of glass, which is given as 30 kilovolt per mm. So it means that the second capacitance will also not go into breakdown, because if we consider this as voltage across that capacitance, then corresponding electric field is coming 0.75, which is less than 30. So that means it is less than the breakdown, or it is less than the dielectric strength of that dielectric. So this is the valid case. This will not go into breakdown. This will not go into breakdown. Hence the total voltage V across the parallel plate capacitor is sum of potential drop across first capacitor and voltage drop across second capacitor, that is V equal to V1 plus V2. V1 we have calculated as 15 kilovolt plus V2 we have calculated as 3.75 kilovolt. So this will be 18.75 kilovolt. So the total voltage drop across, the maximum voltage that can be applied across the capacitor without breakdown is 18.75, because in both the cases we are satisfying the condition of dielectric strength. Dielectric strength in both the cases is less than the maximum electric field. Hence, when we apply this voltage, the capacitor will not go into breakdown. Hence, the correct answer is 18.75. Now, in this case, we started from air. Now, let's start from glass. So, we have calculated V1 equal to 4 V2. Now, let's start from glass. So, for glass, electric field is E20. We are considering now the dielectric strength of glass. In the previous case, we started from the air. So, it can come into mind that why we have not started from the glass. So, let's try to start with the glass also. So, for glass, the dielectric strength is E20, and this is given as 30 kilovolt per mm. So, accordingly, potential drop V2 will be 30 kilovolt per mm into 5 mm. So, the voltage applied across the second capacitor, that is nothing but 150 kilovolt. So, across the second capacitor, voltage should be 150 kilovolt if we consider the dielectric strength of glass. So, we know that V1 equal to 4 V2. So, V1 equal to 4 V2. So, this is nothing but 600 kilovolt. So, the voltage across the first capacitor is 600 kilovolt. Now, according to 600 kilovolt, what should be the electric field? So, electric field E1 for air is V1 upon D, and V1 is 600 kilovolt and D is 5 mm. This is 120 kilovolt per mm. So, electric field applied across the air is 120 kilovolt per mm, but the dielectric strength of air is 3 kilovolt per mm. So, now according with this 150 kilovolt, V1 should be 600 and the electric field in air is 120 kilovolt per millimeter, which is greater than the dielectric strength of air. It means that air or that dielectric will go into breakdown. So, in this case, we cannot calculate the maximum voltage applied across the capacitor without breakdown, because this dielectric will go into breakdown. So, if we calculate the voltage, that will not without breakdown. Hence, we have considered air first and not glass. This question is asked in GATE 2015 set 2. Two semi-infinite dielectric regions are separated by a plane boundary at y equal to 0. The dielectric constant of region 1, that is y less than 0, and region 2, y greater than 0, are 2 and 5 respectively. Region 1 has uniform electric field 3ax cap plus 4ay cap plus 2az cap, where ax, ay, az are unit vectors along x, y and z axis respectively. The electric field in region 2 is option A 3ax cap plus 1.6 ay plus 2az cap, option B 1.2 ax cap plus 4 ay plus 2 az cap, option C 1.2 ax cap plus 4 ay cap plus 0.8 az cap, and option D 3ax cap plus 10 ay plus 0.8 az cap. So, there are two regions. Region 1 is defined by permittivity epsilon r equal to 2, which is for y less than 0 and having electric field 3ax cap plus 4ay cap plus 2az cap, and we have region 2 which is characterized by epsilon r, that is permittivity of the medium is 5, and we have to calculate magnetic field intensity in region 2 which is y greater than 0, region 2. Here the boundary is y equal to 0. As we can see that along this line the y is varying. This is y axis, we can say, because in y axis y is variable, because y is here some negative value, because y less than 0, here it will be some negative value, and here it will be some y equal to 0 at the boundary, and here y is greater than 0, so it will have some positive value. So if I take this interface as a plane, because it is y equal to 0 plane, so if it is y equal to 0 plane, so this will be the plane, this will be the plane, and this will be the y axis. So we can take it as z axis, because we know that for right hand coordinate system y cross z should be x. So if I curl my finger from y to z, we will get a direction of x by thumb, direction of thumb. So if I curl my finger from y to z, the direction thumb is pointing is outside the board. It means that x will lie outside the board. So here we can write it as x is outside the board. So because this is y axis, so we can take it as z axis, and this will be x axis. So we have plane like this, in which this line is nothing but z axis, and this is, which is outside the board, is x axis. We can say that we will have a plane like this, which divides the two regions, region 1 and region 2, and from this side we can see only this line, which is our z axis, and this line is nothing but a x axis. So y equal to 0 means we have x z plane as interface. So y equal to 0 means x z plane. Now from boundary condition, we know that tangential component of electric field in region 1 is same as tangential component of electric field in region 2. At boundary, from boundary condition, at boundary, and the boundary here is y equal to 0 or xz plane. The plane which divides the two region is y equal to 0 or xz plane. So the tangential component at boundary, it means at y equal to 0 of electric field, is same as tangential component of electric field in region 2 at boundary. So what will be the tangential component? So if we are saying y equal to 0 is the interface or xz plane is the interface, then the x component and z component will be the parallel component of electric field in region, in boundary or in interface. So if this is the boundary, then this is the z axis and this is the x axis. So the electric field which is parallel to z axis is the tangential component, and the electric field component parallel to x axis will be the tangential component of electric field in x direction, and y equal to 0 will be the normal component of electric field, because y equal to 0 is the interface. So for xz plane y will be the normal, so y component will be the normal electric field component and xz component will be the tangential component. So that's why we are writing xz here. Y equal to 0 means xz. So x and z will be the tangential component. So tangential component will be x and z, and for electric field in region 1, tangential components are 3ax and 2az. So region 2, electric field in region 2, tangential component of electric field in region 2 will be 3ax plus 2az. Now again at y equal to 0, means at boundary, from the boundary condition, normal component of magnetic flux density in region 1 is same as normal component of electric flux density in region 2. And the electric flux density can be written as epsilon 1 normal component of electric field and epsilon 2 normal component of electric field in region 2. Epsilon 1 is epsilon naught epsilon r1 and normal component, and this is epsilon naught epsilon r2 en2. So from here we can calculate normal component of electric field. This epsilon naught will get cancelled, epsilon r1 epsilon r2 and normal component of electric field. This is 2, this is 5. Normal component of electric field in region 1 is y equal to 0 plane, means xz plane. Xz will have normal component in y direction. Xz plane will have normal component in y direction. So the y component is 4ay. So this is 8 upon 5 ay cap and 1.6 ay cap. So normal component of electric field in region 2 will be 1.6 ay. So electric field in region 2 will be sum of tangential component in region 2 and normal component in region 2. So tangential components are 3ax plus 2az and the normal component is 1.6 ay. So we will get 3ax plus 1.6 ay plus 2az. So electric field in region 2 will be 3ax plus 1.6 ay plus 2az. This question is asked in GATE 2015 set 2. Two semi-infinite conducting sheets are placed at right angle to each other as shown in the figure. A point charge of plus q is placed at a distance of d from both the sheets. The net force on the charge is q square upon 4 pi epsilon naught into k upon d square, where k is given by option A 0, option B minus 1 by 4 I cap minus 1 by 4 j cap, option C minus 1 by 8 I cap minus 1 by 8 j cap, and option D 1 minus 2 root 2 upon 8 root 2 I cap plus 1 minus 2 root 2 upon 8 root 2 j cap. It is given that two semi-infinite sheets placed at right angle to each other. So here the angle is 90 degree. They are placed at 90 degree to each other and they are infinite conducting sheet. So whenever the charge is placed above the conducting sheet, we should apply method of image. So to apply method of image, we should know that how many number of image charges are required. So whenever the sheets are placed with some angle, the number of image charge is calculated by the formula 360 degree by phi minus 1, where the phi is the angle by which the sheets are placed. So here the sheets are placed to right angle to each other, means they make an angle 90 degree with each other. So the number of image charges will be 360 by 90 minus 1, that is 3. So we should place the 3 image charges in the conducting region. So we have the conducting region below the x plane, x axis, and here to the left of this y axis. So if we apply method of image, Method of image says that the perfect conducting sheets should be replaced by equipotential surface, and the charge in the conducting region there should be an image charge with opposite polarity. So this is equipotential surface. Now by applying method of image we will get it as equipotential surface. We are replacing this conducting sheet by equipotential surface, and this also by equipotential surface. And we have charge here plus q at distance d. Now we have to put 3 image charges because we have calculated how many number of image charges we required. So there we need 3 image charges to be placed. So the image charges should be placed in such a way that this conducting sheet should be an equipotential surface. So for that, if this is plus q, and this distance is d, so to neutralize this particular charge, we should place another charge in the conducting plane with opposite polarity and equal distance from the sheet. So from this sheet with equal distance of d, we are keeping this image charge and the polarity is opposite to it. Similarly, because this is also a perfect conducting sheet, so to make this as equipotential or to neutralize this, to make the potential 0, we have to keep another point charge with same distance d and opposite charge minus q. But now in this system we can see that now there is more negative charges than positive charge. It means that it will not be neutral because there is negative charge more than positive charge. So now the whole system will be negative because the negative charge is more. So and also we know that the total number of image charges should be 3, and we have put the 3 out of 3 2 image charges. So we have to keep another point charge at this point to make the overall system equipotentials. So this distance should also be d, this is also d, and this is d, and this is also d, and this charge will be plus q. So now we have 3 charges, 3 image charges, and the charge which was placed above the 2 semi-infinite conducting sheet. Now it is given that on this charge the total net force or the net force because of these 3 point charges is given as net force is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught k q square by d square. The net force is given in this form. We have to calculate the value of k. Now let us say this is charge 4, this is first charge, this is second charge, and this is third charge. Now we can calculate the force on charge placed at position 4 by using Coulomb's law. So by using Coulomb's law, we know that the force is given by, force between 2 point charges is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2, this is the distance between them, inversely proportional to the square of distance between them, and unit vector ar. So this is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 vector r divided by r square and its magnitude. So its magnitude is nothing but r, so we can write it as r cube also. Now we apply this Coulomb's law to calculate the force on this point charge placed at 4 because of point charge at minus dd, that means at point 1. So if we line join from the charge at 1 to 4, because we have to calculate force on this point charge, so we have to line joining between them. So this is the line joining between them, and this is the final point and this is the initial point, and this vector is called vector r, and this is known as displacement vector, which is calculated with respect to origin. This is the displacement from the initial point to the final point where we have to calculate force. So we are moving this from this point to this point. So this is our final point and this is our initial point. So the displacement vector r is final point, means that let us say that is 4 minus initial point, and this is d minus d ax cap plus d minus d ay cap. So this is equal to 2d ax cap. So magnitude of r will be 2d. So magnitude of r will be 2d. Now using this equation, we will get 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2, that is q into minus q. The distance is 2d and its square, so this is 2d whole square, and vector r, that is 2d ax cap, and its magnitude is again 2d. So this will cancel each other and we will get minus q square upon 4 pi epsilon naught 4d square ax cap. So this is the force on charge 4 due to charge placed at minus dd, that is because of 1. So this put it equation number 1. Now force on charge 4 due to point charge placed at position 3, let us say. First let's calculate for 3. So we will get the force on this point because of this charge. So we have to line join from 3 to 4. So we will join the line like this, and this is again the displacement from, this is initial point and this is final point, because we have to calculate force on this point. So we are moving from this point to this point, so this will be the final point and this will be the initial point. So again we can calculate its displacement vector. So this displacement vector will be simply, because this is the coordinate at this is d comma minus d, and this position vector, let us say this is r1. So this r1 equal to, this is d minus d0 ax cap plus d minus of minus d, so this is 2d ay cap. So this is 2d ay cap for this case. So force on 4 due to charge 3, and the point charges are both minus q and q, 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 q and minus q, 4 pi epsilon naught r square vector r is 2d ay cap, and r square is 2d whole square, and its magnitude, so its magnitude is also 2d. So again this will cancel each other and we will get minus q square ay upon 4 pi epsilon naught 4d square. Put it equation number 2. Now we have to calculate force at charge placed at 4 because of 2. here, because of 2, the charge that is plus q, force on this plus q. So we have to line join from this plus q to this q. Let us denote it by displacement vector r2. We are starting from here and we are moving up to this point. So the vector r2 will be, this is d, and this coordinate will be minus d comma minus d. So this is d plus d ax cap plus d plus d ay cap, because these both are d, and this is minus d and minus d. So d minus of minus d, that is 2d ax, and d minus of minus d, that is 2d ay. So this is 2d ax and 2d ay, and its magnitude will be root over 4d square plus 4d square. This is d and root 8. So force will be, both are positive charge. So this is q square upon 4 pi epsilon naught. This is 2d ax cap plus 2d ay cap divided by its magnitude is square. So its square will be 8d square, and its magnitude, that is d into root 8. So if we take d common, so this will be q square upon 4 pi epsilon naught, and this d and d will get cancelled, and this can be written as 2 root 2, or simply we can cancel out this one also. So we will get ax cap plus ay cap, this d and d will cancel, this d and this d, and this 2 if we take common, so we will get here 2 root 2, or we can write it as 4d square, this 2 and this 4d square and 2 root 2. Put it equation number 3. Now net force on charge q that is placed at 4 because of 1, 2 and 3 will be sum of all the 3 equations. So that is 4, 1, 4, 2 and 4, 3. So if we add all the 3 equations, we will get minus q square upon 4 pi epsilon naught d square 4d square ax cap plus minus q square ay upon 4 pi epsilon naught 4d square plus q square upon 4 pi epsilon naught ax cap plus ay cap divided by 4d square 2 root 2. So if we add these 3 equations, and we have to represent in the form of q square upon 4 pi epsilon d square common. If I take this in common as common, then this will be, remaining part will be k. So if I take this common, so in ax term, from the first equation, from the first part, we will have minus 1 by 4. This is, if q square upon 4 pi epsilon or d square I take common, then we have ax component, that is minus 1 by 4, and here 8 root 2 plus 1 upon 8 root 2. Similarly for y component, we will have minus 1 by 4 and again plus 1 by 8 root 2. So if we solve this, q square upon 4 pi epsilon naught d square Ax cap, this will be 8 root 2, and this is 2 root 2 with minus sign, this is plus 1, and this is also minus 2 root 2, LCM is 8 root 2 and 2 root 2 plus 1. So this is q square upon 4 pi epsilon naught d square and 1 minus 2 root 2 upon 8 root 2 Ax cap plus 1 minus 2 root 2 upon 8 root 2 Ay cap. And if we compare with the given equation, that is q square upon 4 pi epsilon naught d square into k, then the value of k will be this term. Hence the correct answer is option D. This question is asked in GATE 2016 set 2. A parallel plate capacitor filled with two dielectrics is shown in figure below. If the electric field in the region A is 4 kilovolt per centimeter, the electric field in region B in kilovolt per centimeter is option A 1, option B 2, option C 4 and option D 16. The arrangement of the plate is given. This is two parallel plates and the difference between or the gap between the two parallel plate is 2 millimeter. The half portion is filled with air which is having dielectric constant as 1, and the half portion is filled with some other dielectric which is having permittivity as 4. The electric field strength for the first region A is given, that is 4 kilovolt per centimeter. We have to find the electric field for region B. So here we can see that these parallel plates are placed like this. So this is the parallel plate, these are the two parallel plates and it is placed like this. And in this plate, this half portion is filled with dielectric having constant 4. So this red line, the red portion shows the region B. This is nothing but region B and this is nothing but region A, in which the dielectric is air. So we are applying the potential here and at the bottom, because we applied the potential across two plates. So we have upper plate like this, so we are applying positive voltage here and this is the ground. The bottom voltage is connected, the bottom plate is connected to ground. So now we can see that the gap between these two is will remain same. So the gap will remain same, means the gap between the plate is nothing but D, let us say, and this is equal to 2 centimeter. And the area come into effect for capacitor, because this is parallel plate capacitor. So for the area come into effect for this capacitance, let us say this is C2 and this is C1. So the area is divided into half of portion, because half portion is filled with a dielectric constant and half portion is filled with some other dielectric as air. So we can see that the voltage is constant. So the voltage is constant in shunt circuit. So we can say that this is shunt arrangement of capacitor. So here the two capacitance are connected in parallel or in shunt, because the potential is same. Now the area which come into effect is half, because the total plate area is this area. The total plate area is nothing but this area, and here the half portion of it is coming into effect to generate the capacitance C2, and half portion is coming into effect to generate capacitive system C1. From here we can also see this is the half portion and this is other half. So area is divided into two equal half. Now we have to find the electric field strength. Because the potential is same, we know the relationship between voltage and electric field, V equal to E into D. Now the potential is same. So this is, we can say that E is inversely proportional to D because voltage is constant here. The potential applied across this plate is constant, so we can say that ED is constant, or we can write it as E is inversely proportional to D, and we can also write it as E1 upon E2 equal to D2 upon D1, and distance between the plate is also same. So this is 5, this is 2, and this is also 2, so this will be 1. It means that E1 equal to E2, and E1, or we can say EA equal to EB, and the electric field of region A is given, that is 4 kilovolt. So electric field for region B is also 4 kilovolt per centimeter. So because the potential is same, there is relation between E and D, and because D is same for both the capacitor, the electric field will remain same, that is 4 kilovolt per centimeter. So this is the one method by which we can solve this question. There is another method. The second method is, suppose, because this is a parallel plate capacitor, so for parallel plate capacitor, capacitance is given by epsilon A by D. For parallel plate capacitor, capacitance is given by epsilon A by D, and let's calculate for region A. To capacitor CA will be epsilon naught, area is half divided by D, and let's calculate for other region, that is B, that is epsilon naught epsilon R, area is half, which is coming into effect in that capacitive medium system. This is D. So CB equal to epsilon R is 4. So this is 4 epsilon naught A by 2 into D, and this is nothing but, this bracket is nothing but CA. So this is 4 CA. So CB equal to 4 CA. Now we also know that the charge is Q equal to CV. So charge stored in first region, let's QA is CA into V, potential is same. QB equal to CB into V, and QA divided by QB equal to CA upon CB. So the ratio of CA upon CB is 1 by 4. From here, if we calculate CA upon CB, this is 1 by 4. So CA upon CB is 1 by 4. Hence, the charge stored QB equal to 4 times of QA. Because here the potential is same, so the charge stored will be different. Either the charge remains same or the potential will remain same. So here the potential is same, that's why the charge stored is different. Now the electric field, because we are interested in electric field. So for parallel plate capacitor, at any point P, electric field strength is given as rho s upon epsilon. The electric field strength for parallel plate, suppose this is plus, the charge stored here, and this is minus. So electric field at point P in between the plate is given by surface charge density, that is stored in this plate. Plate is nothing but a surface or a plane. So the charge stored is given by surface charge density and the dielectric constant. So for region A, which is air, this is rho s A divided by epsilon naught, and rho s is given by, this is Q into Q by A, means charge divided by area into 1 upon epsilon naught. This is electric field strength for region A, which is given to us. This is given by rho s for first region divided by epsilon. So epsilon equal to epsilon naught because it is air, and this is surface charge density, and surface charge density rho s equal to q upon A, because its unit is in coulomb per meter square. So charge divided by area. So charge stored in first region QA divided by its area, and we can also write area is actually half here. So similarly we can calculate electric field strength for region B also. So this is rho SB divided by epsilon. So epsilon equal to epsilon naught into epsilon R, the dielectric constant of region B. So that is equal to QB, and its area is also half, and 1 upon epsilon naught, and epsilon R is 4. Now if we take the ratio of these two equations, EA upon EB is equal to rho A upon QA upon A by 2 into 1 upon epsilon naught divided by QB upon A by 2 and 4 epsilon naught. So this A by 2 and this A by 2 will get cancelled. This epsilon naught and epsilon naught will get cancelled. So we will get QA upon QB into 4. That is equal to EA upon EB. And QA upon QB we have calculated, this is 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 into 4, this is equal to 1. So it means that electric field in region A is equal to electric field in region B, which is equal to 4 kilovolt per centimeter of region B. Hence the correct answer is 4 kilovolt per centimeter.